Okay. Hi, you guys. This is Melissa, Free Range Psychic, and guess who I have on my show?
It's Linda G, and this is Give Melissa Hands Up. This is her first time doing a collaborative.
First guest.
I'm her very first guest.
So you guys sent in a bunch of questions, and so we're going to kind of split them up and answer them for you. So let's get started, shall we?
Let's get started.
Let's get this party started. Okay, so here's a question from Lisa H. Love you too. I want to know what will happen with the oligarchs and Putin's confiscated assets. Will it be returned to the Russian people from whom it was stolen, or something else?
They're going to put it in a fund for the Ukrainian, rebuilding Ukraine.
Oh, I like that answer.
I asked my guides a while ago.
Yeah,
they're going to put it, they're going to sell everything. And, you know, each Germany and UK and America going to keep a little chunk of the change, but they're going to call it for tax purposes. But they're also going to put it in a funding to be overseen for the rebuildment of Ukraine, because he's done crimes against humanity.
Oh,
and unfortunately, the poor Russian people are going to pay.
Yeah, maybe we'll spur the Russian people into toppling the.
Well, Germany paid really good. Although we helped Germany rebuild.
Yeah, we'll help Ukraine rebuild. I'm sure if Russia has a democratically elected, or more democratically elected.
Germany started teaching in schools what Hitler did, and they won't make that mistake twice.
No, they won't. I didn't mean Putin was elected. He pretends he's elected. But if they actually have a real democracy, yeah, or even something, you know, half what they better than they have now. Yeah. Okay.
So, but the oligarchs are going to be jumping ship. I don't see them as in bigger trouble as I see Putin in trouble.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you think they'll get their assets back?
No, they're going to be stripped of what they have, but they're not going to. I see, like, Putin.
I was going to ask you that question. That was one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Will Putin be assassinated?
And yeah, they just had this CNN of this couple running with their 18-month-old baby boy and a blanket full of blood to the hospital, and he died. You know, hello, that's Putin's fault.
It's so tragic. All those children dying. Just, oh my goodness.
There will be no statues for Putin. None.
Oh no, no,
but there will be for Zelensky.
So, okay, you guys, if there was a sound issue on my end, I just moved my microphone, so I don't know if.
And I want to also tell you that a couple of the oligarchs have jumped out tall-story buildings.
They have. Oh, another question I had for you was it assassination or suicide? You know that oligarch died in England, the one who was, yeah.
Because Putin has people all over.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. What was his name? It was.
Remember the people that were coming to kill Zelensky, a whole group of them, and they weren't from Russia. Who were? I think Eric Prince.
Were they the Chechens?
Yeah, Chechens, and they were looking at Eric Prince too. He's working with Russia.
I'm not surprised. I think so many things were correlated or synchronized, things to happen there and things to happen here. And like with Zelensky, the Zoom meeting, apparently Marco Rubio and some other GOP senators, they were asked not to take snapshots or put anything over social media, and then they proceeded to do that. And the reason they were asked not to is because they didn't want to give a hint as to where Zelensky might be. So,
oh God,
yeah. So it's obvious, it's in our faces that
Marco Rubio talks like he's on the Ukraine side.
That's what happened today. And
well, I know that they don't want to talk intel out loud, because let me tell you, here's the good news. How Zelensky was able to get out of being assassinated thus far is because the Russians are telling him who's coming for him.
Yeah,
If the
yeah.
Russians, if the intel inside people in Russia are letting him know hey, look out, look to your left, look to your right, then that means these Russian people who Putin doesn't have, no wonder he's paranoid, may be the ones on the inside that take Putin out.
Wow, that's really interesting. I've been asking my guides about that too, and they've been saying that maybe the person he trusts the most is going to take him out.
Yeah.
You know, they kind of showed me, or maybe it was my imagination, they kind of saw.
But I'll tell you, he could point at that red button and say, shoot off the nukes, and I don't see them doing it.
No, I don't think so either. And because the oligarchs, I mean, the basic materialistic foundation that this government is based on, what would happen to the money of the oligarchs and the people who are dependent on Putin and his theft? It's all going to be nothing. If that happens, that they'll never get their gods back.
Right.
And the Russian people themselves will be poisoned. I think that the air may very, if there was a nuclear explosion, it would go their direction.
Right. You know, can I tell you, and you might have heard me on the show, and I don't know if you're a dream interpreter, but I had a dream. I'm asking my guys to tell me what happens to Zelensky in a dream. I haven't had that dream yet. But I had a dream that there was a nuke exploded in the air, like they had hit it before it landed in the United States. And you could hear the sirens going, woo, and people are running, and we look up in the air and we see, the explosion, and it made a beautiful sky, it was like a huge satellite blew up or something. And then I could hear all clear. And then I knew in that moment, for some reason, that they had literally blown up, Putin, that Putin was dead.
Oh my goodness. I'll ask my guides about it.
Okay.
So, and this is a highly charged emotional situation. So a grain of salt with whatever I say,
But have you had any dreams?
Not about Russia, no, but I have asked my guides about this every single day. And let me see. They're saying to me that the dream signifies the destruction of the government itself, and Putin's death is there too. It is an explosion of anger, and whatever Putin, how the whole way Putin has done this, and without the permission of his generals, and with his oligarchs begging him not to do it. I don't know if it could be a physical explosion. It might be just an explosion of anger that causes the oligarchs to turn on Putin and kill him and assassinate him. Surely there is a lot of bombing going on, and I read they are even using cluster bombs.
Yes.
So
they're breaking all they're committing crimes against humanity.
Yes, they are.
Oh, by the way, Mel had an excellent dream.
What was that?
That Putin was on his yacht. He was up on the top part, and his yacht was in flames, and it was sinking. And all these boats, other yachts were around him, and they're all just sitting there watching him just go down.
Surely that is the sentiment. Putin, another question I was going to have for you. This is funny because I do have you guys, I have your questions too. I only had 4 questions to ask you, Linda. But I was wondering if Putin had cancer. Because I've been reading the rumors besides the Parkinson's. And
yeah, he definitely has Parkinson's. And Parkinson's creates paranoia.
There's a rumor that he also has like either a brain tumor or some kind of cancer.
Okay.
And
I'm feeling yes.
I've had this feeling for a long time.
And did you notice on his face, if you really look at his face, he's got these dark marks on there?
Oh, no, I haven't noticed that. I know it's a steroid.
And he looks blown up like he's on prednisone.
Yeah.
And almost like radiation burns.
Oh, interesting. The other thing my guides say to me is that it also may be like in the Hitler-esque way that he has been like Trump addicted to amphetamine, and he's also not sleeping. So he's on this kind of,
Well, let's get him some propofol.
well, he's on a myriad of uppers and downers, so to speak. But it's the amphetamine that also is leading into his paranoia.
Yeah.
And his, fear of COVID, that long table. So he is so paranoid. They're saying he doesn't trust anybody.
No, he keeps you 7 feet away from him at the table.
And he feels that he has to do this one thing. It's a way to prove that it's his ego, it's to prove that he is somebody, he is something. He's going to leave his mark. He's going to crush these Ukrainians, by God, and possibly, the rest of the world, because of this emperor complex he has. And because he's close to death, he doesn't feel like he has much more time. So it's this insanity of urgency, and he's going to use everything he's got in his weaponry.
I don't think it's a natural crossing. I think it's a violent crossing.
Yeah, I get that too.
Because I almost feel we're going to wake up and there's all over the news. Word is that Putin is dead. And people are running around and everybody's asking everybody. I had a weird dream too, that it was so real that the news said, not that it was a violent end, but that Trump had died. And everybody's running around. And I was looking at the news station, and they're showing outside of the hospital, and we're trying to confirm it, ladies and gentlemen. And all these people were standing there in the streets. And then I woke up and it was so real. I turned my TV on just knowing that's what was going to be on the TV, but it wasn't.
Wow. Yeah, I've been getting that Trump is not, I think a lot of people, just even looking at him, he's so unhealthy, and I'm sure he's got long haul COVID, and I don't think he has much longer either. Wouldn't it be weird if they died around the same time? That would be
But Trump dies of natural causes. Putin dies of something.
An assassination, maybe an assassination that doesn't quite look like an assassination.
Maybe, huh? Like those guys that are jumping out the window and they're calling it suicide.
Yeah, or the poisoning.
Yeah.
Poisoning would be the easiest. Okay.
He has people taste his food.
Oh, really?
He's so cautious.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay, I will ask you another question.
Okay.
This is Kate N. This is another question from our subscribers. I'm looking forward to this. My question is, when will we start to see members of Congress being expelled for their roles in the January 6th insurrection? And this is Kate N. who's asked this.
Well, right away, that guy in the wheelchair, what's his name?
That Madison.
Yeah, he's the beginning. Because they're going to not let him run again, because he was part of this insurrection. But what's so weird? Isn't it funny how this Putin thing took the air out of the room for this January 6th commission?
Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I think this is all synchronized, the trucker strike and the invasion of Ukraine, and because we have the GOP owned by Russia.
But this is more important with the lineage and
you're saying that,
with the connection to Russia, because even that Tara Reid, the one that claimed that Biden had sexually assaulted her, and I kept telling everybody, no, she's lying. And then all the Me Too people were all mad. You got to stand up now. She's lying. I'm telling you.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I agree with you.
She got kicked out of her show because they found her connection to Russia.
Oh.
Russia's paying her and Rogan too, Joe Rogan.
Really?
Yes, but they kicked her out.
Wow. So
what's going to happen is you're going to see even that Lindsey Graham acting all, Putin needs to be taken down. There's a connection with him in Russia.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there's a connection with all of them.
Even some Democrats.
Like Joe Manchin, you think?
Probably.
And Kate
Yeah,
Sinema?
because that now look at in Kentucky, all those poor teachers, they invested all their pension into Russia bank. And the Russian bank, now their pension is worth nothing.
That's Rand Paul and
McConnell. McConnell, yeah.
Yeah. I was surprised that they have
a poor teacher. And they
hardly Rand Paul is a lapdog for Putin. Huh?
They hardly make any money as it is.
Yeah, poor Kentucky. I feel sorry for Kentucky.
But they keep voting for these people, unless they're not, and they're managing to cheat all the way.
Well, there was and still is a question as to the veracity or the validity of the election for Mitch McConnell, and well, I don't know if Rand Paul ran this time, but yeah, there are questions about that election and whether it was fraudulent.
Yeah, the lowest 6%. The lowest rating, and he still won.
Yeah, there's a lot to look into in the future, but Russia can make it happen, right? Russia they were boots on the ground for.
Oh, listen, well, Russia, when Putin goes down, that's when everything starts coming out.
Yeah,
that's when people who are actually working for Putin to save their lives will give all kinds of intel. I'm talking PP tapes. I'm talking what they were instructed to do with the United States. All of that's going to come out.
Well, one of the things I was thinking is that there's a lot to bargain with all these assets being taken away from the oligarchs. What are they willing to do to get them back?
Yeah, well, that one oligarch said he's going to do $1 million bounty for Putin's head.
Yeah.
Of course, I hope he didn't mean $1 million ruble.
Yeah, that's 1 cent on the dollar. But what I mean is that there is betrayal now. Think about how much more betrayal there's going to be.
Oh, yeah.
to bargain with like the DOJ or whatever to keep their assets. I'll give you this. I'll spill the beans. I'll show you this.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I can see it as clear as day. Just like I told everybody years ago, I see Putin running for his life, and it's his own people chasing after him.
Yeah. So this is a similar question, but with a little bit of different take by it's Carol Bastian who asked it. What a powerful pair of minds and spirits. Thank you, Carol. I know it will be a blessing for all who will listen. Will the sanctions on a Russian economy and Putin have a devastating effect on those in Congress who have and are on the dark money payroll?
And towards the Republicans. A lot of the money they get is from Russia, and that's going to be cut.
So do you see?
You know what the devastating effect is that Putin doesn't have the money behind him to bribe and do what he does.
Yeah, so he's nothing. What is he without money? He's nothing. He might be near the locus of power, but like without that, those billions and billions of dollars, nobody's going to heed him. The minute that he threatened a nuclear strike several days ago,
he's a big bully.
At that time, to pull.
Well, listen, they said, "Don't you dare gather and protest." They're still out there in Moscow protesting. They just shot a protester.
They did? What happened, Linda? I didn't hear that.
They just shot randomly into the crowd. They hit this guy. He's going to be okay, but they showed it on the news.
Oh, really?
They'll start shooting down their own people if they start to protest.
Oh, of course they will. But maybe the sleeping bear really symbolizes the Russian people who will wake up and.
Well, somebody said, remember who won World War II? It was the Ukrainians. It wasn't
really?
the Russians. Ukrainians are hella fighters.
I didn't realize it was the Ukrainians.
Yeah, that's what some historical guy was talking about.
So the next question, I guess, is a little linked, but are the DOJ and January 6th committee going to make any significant progress and indictments before midterms?
Yes.
I'm worried it's going to be a little too late. Thank you. And that's S. Barb.
No, I think they're going to come up with some indictment towards Trump.
Yeah.
Trump.
So many people question Merrick Garland, but I still see him being powerful. It hasn't been even. It's been a little over a year, right? The Watergate took 2.
Okay.
didn't it?
Yeah, now it's more blatant evidence.
Yeah, so I know we're impatient, but my guides, I'll ask them again, but oh no, they say that everything is being is taken care of, and he will follow justice. He's not weak. And there's been a lot of impatience brewed, and I wonder even if that, that's to our detriment, that people are getting tired of waiting when that's based on a false premise.
Yeah.
That the sooner the better. I don't think it is. I think that things take time, and a year isn't that long. And
well, listen, DOJ is just jumping at the bit to check into these oligarchs and this money that has been used. Part of it because it links it to Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, and Merrick Garland only started when did he start? He was blocked from.
Because after Biden was in office, a good 6 months to 8 months.
So
they fought him too.
Huh?
They fought him too.
Oh, of course they did.
See that justice getting in. I don't care what those people are saying.
Yeah, there's going to be justice, and we just need to be patient. And if it's too quick, then Trump could walk. It has to be the way it is. So I hear cards. Do you have your cards?
No, I was moving my.
Oh, I thought you were going to even throw something. I mean, not that on your cards. I meant. Oh, this is an exciting question.
What?
This is Rick L. Now that Greg Abbott has been confirmed as Republican nominee for governor in the 2022 race, what are his chances of winning against Beto O'Rourke?
Right now, he's ahead in numbers.
Yeah.
I want Beto to win.
I do too. I did a reading on Beto several months ago. I saw him winning. I will forever be an optimist. I never asked the last time, actually, I don't think. But
let's look at Rick Scott.
Huh? Yeah. Okay.
What's his name again? Rick Scott?
Oh, you mean Rick Scott, Florida?
Who's he running against in Texas? Beto.
Oh, Beto. No, Greg Abbott.
Oh, Greg Abbott. Is that who we're asking about, Greg Abbott?
Greg Abbott versus Beto O'Rourke. Who's going to win?
Greg Abbott going to win in the midterms as governor of Texas. I heard no.
He's not going to win.
I heard no. I just now heard no.
Okay.
That's good. No.
So what did you say? Who
he's going to act like it was stolen.
So wait a minute. Is Abbott going to win, or is Beto?
No, Abbott is. I just threw in on Abbott. No, Abbott is not going to win.
Good.
Abbott definitely is not going to win. So if Abbott doesn't win, it's Beto.
Yeah, I see Beto winning, and in that reading I did then, I saw Beto winning, and that was before he won the primary. So
he might pitch a fit, though. He might act out.
Oh, he will. He will.
You know, the guy in Florida, he's the type that wouldn't go well, Emily.
Ron DeSantis. He's so tied up. They're all tied up with Putin. But Florida is like little Russia, the way that government is going. And Ron DeSantis is going to be in some big time trouble because he's so connected with Matt Gaetz and all of that criminal behavior that they're still investigating. And they've got that Joel Greenberg who just spilled the beans on everything. So Ron DeSantis is part of that. And what a horrible man. Did you see that?
Oh, when he told those kids, you know, I would have said, I can't stand your stench, so I need the mask so I don't smell you.
Oh my God, just how rude. What a little dictator. What a little schmuck. If I was a parent, I'd want to slap him up sideways. Not that I would never do that because I'm a pacifist, but I would want to. I really would. Pat Lee asked, where do you see Katie Porter in the future? She is amazing. I'd so love to see an Abrams Porter ticket one day for president.
Katie Porter, she is amazing. She's very smart. I see her head of committees. I see her as head of committees.
Yeah.
Her outcome. Will she run for a big... I see her being in the administration in 2024.
Yeah.
So Biden might choose her for something, but I see her being in the administration.
Yeah, maybe for like a cabinet position.
Something like that. I don't see her as president though.
I think you're correct. I don't think she's going to be president, but Stacey Abrams might.
Stacey Abrams, very much.
When she lost to.
She didn't lose.
No, she didn't lose. She
And
didn't.
let me tell you something else.
She didn't lose.
Hillary Clinton won. And
yes,
that beyond a reasonable doubt. Jimmy Carter announced it. Now that they're looking at all these connections, and reality winner is the one who saved our butts. If she hadn't announced everybody that Russia was in on changing the votes, and of course they threw her in jail as a traitor. There's people who give to China more than she did, and they didn't get nearly what she got.
yeah,
And they threw her away. And if it wasn't for her, because of her, all the people involved with the voting system shored up their machines and everything. So now, when the 2020 happened, the bigwig that dealt with all that said, this is one of the most secure elections we've ever had. And then Trump fired him.
of course. And that's a good question I'd like to ask you is, do you think that by the time the midterms come, we will have more secure election? I mean, not that we didn't have, but I want to backtrack on that. Will we circumvent the GOP's efforts to
all I can tell you is the vision that
system?
the guys gave me, that there's going to be hundreds of thousands of people like ants, walking through, working around. No matter what restrictions they do, they're still coming like ants. And that, your red states are still going to be your red states. But I see
they have a right to be the red states. That, I mean,
and McConnell, I see him very shocked because he really thinks, oh, we're going to win it. Watch, we're going to win it. No, I don't see that.
Oh, my guys just informed me. Of course, they're saying Russia's not going to be involved anymore. Russia's not going to be involved in our elections because Putin's going to be taken down.
And
so
don't forget is it Domino or whoever that place? They're suing Fox.
Dominion. Dominion, yeah.
They got some big lawsuits, and they're going to be taking care of business.
Yeah, a lot of broke Republicans looking for jobs, probably as lobbyists or some, leaving the government in droves. Also, not being able to pay their attorneys and not having protection anymore. It's like the curtain's taken down, or even better, the rock is upended, overturned, and all.
But look at what happened when Trump got in office. He was doing everything Putin was telling him to do.
Yeah,
he did the white nationalist thing. He wanted to see the racial division in this country. All of that is all Russian playbook. Yeah.
Russia has been orchestrating all of this, and I honestly believe that. Well, I don't think it's a hidden secret anymore that because of Russian psyops that funded Q and the anti-vax movements and the anti-masking movements, and via Davos, which is another interesting question: is are the Davoses, including Eric Prince, going to also lose power? They via Trump allowed for the spread of this COVID virus, and the fact that we can't get our vaccines over 66% in this country. And I believe he used and is still using the people who are against. It's one thing I understand people with compromised immune systems not wanting a vaccine. But to not follow COVID protocol, to be completely oblivious to all these mutations, they're bioweapons. That Putin has used our own people as bioweapons, as vectors for this virus against us. It's on his hands and Trump's hands.
Right.
Yeah, and all with trying to, if you see, you can kind of see the master plan now. He's invaded Ukraine because all of this led up to that, right? And he's been undermining or attempting to undermine democracies.
But let me ask you something.
Oh, sure.
Do you think Putin is shocked by all the nations that have turned around and said, we condemn this?
Oh, yeah. I think his mind is blown. He did not expect it.
Even China said, nah, we're not gonna, you can't use our banks.
He completely misread the room. He horribly miscalculated. And you can see either he's just potentially so ill and paranoid, etc., that he's lost his grip on or grasp on reality, or he was always like this, but we just didn't realize it until now, because they don't have the money. This is what I keep hearing from my guys. They don't have the money for this war. They can only have a finite amount of money now that everything's being cut off, and it's continuing to be cut off. Even Coca-Cola stopped selling to the Russians like a day ago.
Oh, and Apple stopped selling?
Yeah, and it's going to keep on going like that. And they'll have nothing. And how can you wage this? It's not just a war, which I think he thought it was going to be like 72 hours, go in there, decapitate the government.
Right, like the other one. Oh, well, get used to it.
It's an occupation, and you have to fund an occupation. Where is he going to get the money to fund the occupation? Is he just going to enslave the Russian protesters and then tell them to go fight? And why does he think they would actually fight? If I was a protester and I was sent across the lines, if I was conscripted into the Russian army, I would desert, like, in a second and just join the Ukrainians.
Is that what he's doing now? He's taking the protesters and making them fight?
He's that, whether he's doing it or not, I don't know. But
I say I'll go. And then when I got there, because let me tell you, it's the Russians, and it's high intel Russians that are letting Zelensky know who's coming after him.
Wow.
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah, it really is.
That means there's some people in there that are protecting us. And you don't think, remember I had that flash before all this started of Navalny standing outside being released from jail, and he's waving to everybody. I remember thinking that's the weirdest thing. And then somebody said in my 2022 predictions, they said, are we ever going to come together as a nation? I said, I think a war will bring us together.
You saw it happening, and now Biden's popularity is skyrocketing. And I still think the media, I believe also the media has been owned by Russia via Rupert Murdoch and other. Even there was a major Trumper that was going to be on the head of the board of CNN, and like the media's, and that's a clever tactic. You buy the media, you buy public perception, and then you win, half of your war. So ever since Biden's been elected, we've had this like crazy coverage where they're just criticizing him, and there's not one nice thing that any of them.
No, he'll be in there 6 months. He hasn't done everything he said he was going to do. Well, he's been in there 6 months. And as it is, and nobody would help him and vote for his staff he needs.
Yeah, and we still don't have ambassadors. And why are they being held up? Is that also in collusion with Russia?
Yeah.
So I believe that if and when, and the FCC is now investigating Russia's involvement in our media.
Yes.
Then
that's huge right there.
Oh, that is
right there.
Because if
my words, that's huge right there.
We may.
Well, they arrested one of the ex-producers at Fox News, one of Sean Hannity's, I think, producers.
Really? Wow.
He's not there now, but they arrested him for his link with Russia.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So if we get Russia out of our media and we start getting more fair and balanced coverage, then I truly believe that we will start seeing polls in the 60s and 70s percentile in approval of Biden. I do not believe in these low polling numbers for him. I just don't. It doesn't make any sense. Considering the majority he came in with. But there is even MSNBC is a little bit tainted in their coverage against or not supportive of Biden. I don't want them to be supportive of Biden, that it is false. But
well, no, but let me tell you something else. Biden is boring, and he doesn't give the numbers, or the people enjoy trashing and talking about Trump.
Yeah.
They were making money hand over foot during this Trump thing.
Yeah.
And Biden, he's just fixing the country. He's not trying to do anything to create chaos. I mean, Jesus Christ, Trump made a real nasty comment about what's her face, that famous Academy Award winning actress. She's a has-been, he says.
Oh, Meryl Streep, was it?
Yeah. She's a has-been. Just because he's jealous that he wasn't invited to the Academy Awards.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. It's always about the ratings. It was always about the ratings for Trump. But I do believe with better and more, and I really hope, well, this is a question I could have for you.
What?
Will the fair and balanced, you know, that law about news, which was
with the new administration, with the new one coming in. Yeah.
Yeah. Because we need, if once we get fair and balanced news, oh, it'll be amazing. It'll be fantastic. And we'll actually not be gaslit anymore, because all
Right.
we're seeing now even is gaslighting.
Right.
So so how are you doing? I can ask you one or two more questions.
Okay, good. Yeah, thanks.
Okay.
We're at an hour already.
Yeah, so I'll ask my guys which question.
You'll find people start losing interest after an hour.
Yeah, well,
They start
we're coming.
drifting off.
Thank you. We're coming to the end of this. So we're good for one more question. So Rick L also asked about Ketanji Brown Jackson, the nominee.
She's getting in, no problem.
And
She'll be one of the finest justices we've ever had.
And do you see any more Supreme Court appointments under Biden?
Yeah, I think something's going to happen with, might even be that Federalist Society has been funded by Russia.
Oh, wow.
And they're going to find out that they had the tentacles with Kavanaugh. And
Yeah, of course they did. Yeah.
And-
Oh my God. Yeah.
And I think they're going to say, oh, gotta go.
Yeah, because Neil Gorsuch has ties to Russia, I think, allegedly. And then look at, oh my God, look at Clarence Thomas.
This Russia thing is part of that vision I had with Republicans jumping off a ship like rats. People are going to be drowning. I'm telling you right now, this is going to be, but here's the other thing. Somebody on Twitter said she just, in Florida, just saw a truck drive by with an American flag and a Russian flag.
Oh, I saw that on Twitter.
What
What is that about? He was like speeding down the freeway.
When everything comes out about Putin, about the ugliness, about the people he had assassinated, there's nothing great about him.
Oh no, nothing. He's a horrible, horrible,
He's
evil
a bully.
man. Did you know that I did a past life reading on Putin as Hitler?
I believe it, because that's how he's acting.
Yeah. If
And
anybody
somebody
wants
had
to
a
see that,
picture
it's in on my channel, huh?
Somebody showed a picture of Zelensky in his full military garb and said, here's someone that didn't suffer from bone spurs.
Oh,
Trump up
goodness.
there, go down to the Capitol and I'll be with you. No, he wasn't. He wasn't with them. You know who else is going down as Roger?
Oh,
Roger Stone.
yes.
I can't wait.
Oh, he's in a hell of a lot of trouble.
And I
A whole lot
feel
of
big
trouble.
that Lindsey Graham's in a lot of trouble. I think because he said Putin needs to be taken out. Because if Putin could do what he wants to do right now, let's say Trump was still in office and Lindsey Graham said that, Lindsey Graham would have been taken out.
Oh, somehow, yeah. I'm not sure.
But I even feel like Trump said, you know what? I don't know what the hell you're thinking. I don't know why you said that, but you're in trouble now, buddy.
The only other angle I can see is that when you hear that from a GOP member, they're trying to spark trouble to the extent that we end up in a world war.
Well, I also feel like he's doing it to think he's a two-faced.
Oh yeah.
He plays both sides. So he's in trouble. He knows he has his friends in Russian money. And he's trying to act like, oh, this guy needs to be taken out, but he's in trouble. Trust me. So is Marco Rubio, all of them.
Yeah.
That DOJ is going to trace some Russian money right to him. It's going to be huge, my friend.
Oh my
Huge.
God. Wow. Yeah. I look forward to watching all of that go down. That tower, huge tower
Yeah.
moment for the GOP, which they deserve.
You know, I've been reading for so long, a lot of these big things, events or court hearings, I haven't been able to watch because I have to do my readings. But at the end of this year, I'm not reading anymore. And girl, I'll have plenty of time to watch my big hearings and all that. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Wow. So thank you, Linda, so much. This has been
Oh, you're
really
so
wonderful for
welcome.
me and for all of
Thank you.
us.
Thank
My
you.
very first guest, and I don't need any more guests.
No, you
You're
got to
enough
ask
for me.
other people to come on your show.
Yeah, I will. This is just a unusual format for me. I've never done it before, but this has been such a great experience. I'm so grateful. And
you know, a lot of people have readings with you that I've recommended. They love your readings.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Of course.
You guys, I'm recommending her too when I leave.
Thank
Well,
you.
I can't take any more bookings. So you don't have to mark her link as here because I'm not booking anymore. So, you know,
when is that?
and now it's time for them to go to others.
Will that be at the end of the year?
Huh?
Is that the end of the year?
The end
November?
of this year. But I can't book now. I'm booked through the end of the year.
Yeah, so that's it after that.
I have a huge waiting list. We just stopped counting after about 5-6 pages.
Yeah, but there's a lot to look forward to with.
Yeah, I'm going to be in Sedona. I'm going to be in all over the place.
And you're cooking.
We'll announce later. Huh?
Your cooking show.
Oh, I cooked a bunch of food yesterday. I did a fish soup out of the White House recipe book that was John F. Kennedy's favorite. A little runny. I wouldn't advise as much liquid, but it's kind of fun to do it and kind of get it. I made John F. Kennedy's favorite blue cheese dressing. Excellent.
Oh,
excellent.
So good.
And then I made my biscuits and gravy, which is why I don't have it very often because you'll see how fattening it is. But I don't do it where I just make the gravy. You know, I do it where you got to cook the sausage or whatever you're going to cook, so you get that flavor in it. And then I cook the sausage like ground beef, and I put it in the gravy, so it's just very flavorful. And
oh my God, it sounds so good.
Sliced tomatoes.
You're still going to be doing your YouTube videos.
Yeah, and my cooking show.
Right. So thank goodness for that.
Yeah, and that's fun. And I'll still be giving away readings.
Wow, you really? That's good to know. Well, thank you for coming on. I want to wish everybody a wonderful Sunday or whatever day they see this channel, or anytime in the evening or night. And I will be back next week and with a surprise past life reading. A lot of people have been asking me to do it, but I'm not giving away who this person was, but it will be on Zelensky.
Oh, I love it. Thanks.
Yeah. So everybody tune in for that one. That'll be.
We should all pray for Zelensky, you guys, and the Ukraine people.
Oh, and the one thing before I go, or before we go, I want to tell you what my guides reminded me, for me, but for all of us, is that, and I've said this before, but this is a spiritual war that's going on. It's not just happening on the physical. And you lead prayers, right, Linda, every Tuesday. Prayer works.
In faith that this too shall pass.
Yes, it shall. And I have asked my guides, they see Ukraine as being victorious.
Oh, good.
And that this is going to pass, and Putin will not win this. But keep on praying, and keep on trying to find that time in your day, or whenever, when you're meditating or when you're walking in the woods or whatever you're doing, to find some peace. Don't think that because this crisis is going on, you have to be in that feeling.
Exactly.
It's not helpful, and it's not helpful for the people going through it either. They need us to be grounded.
When this was hitting and I went outside and did that video, I said, I'm going to tell you something's up. Something's getting ready to happen. All I kept seeing was the tower, the tower, the tower. Yeah. I said, blood will be shed. But what I saw when I was with Andre was a white flag being flown. So I don't know if the Ukraine says we're done or Russia says they're done.
I think it's Russia.
Okay.
I don't think Ukraine is going to concede. And I get the Six of Wands for Russia. I'm not Russia, for Ukraine. And I get
Well, all we need to hear is that Putin's been taken out. That's all you need to hear.
yeah.
If the government of Russia says Putin has been, you know, or he's under arrest or whatever, everybody's going to lighten up.
Yeah.
It's like when Dorothy killed the Wicked Witch.
Yes.
And the monkey said, the Wicked Witch is dead. Long live Dorothy.
Yes. We will see that moment. I believe it. And I'm always praying for the best, but every time I get despaired of it, my guides remind me it's going to be okay.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, because I went through a couple of days with no sleep. I just was.
Oh, me too. Me too.
I was
so praying. I don't mean to make it a light of it. I don't mean to, I mean, we are going to get through this, and we are going to be stronger. Yeah. As a planet. We are going to make the decision to not go backwards. We are going to move forward into this new world we want to be in.
Right. And now the other thing is, my guide said to me when I was like overwhelmed, and you know, and they said, know this is the beginning of the end of Putin. So that's good.
Okay, well, bye everybody.
Bye everybody.
Take care. Love you.